Hollowbrook was like any other small, sleepy place, tucked away in the shadows of rolling hills and thick woods. A place where everyone knew each other by name, where the scent of fresh bread from the bakery filled the air, and porch lights glowed at dusk like welcoming beacons. But to me, it was a canvas, and I was the artist ready to paint it in shades of crimson. I watched them for weeks, my movements as silent and fluid as the mist that slithered through the trees each night. It wasn't hard to blend in. I was nobody here, a traveler passing through, someone who kept to the edges. People never notice shadows when the sun's out, and they didn't notice me. First was the butcher, a large man with meaty hands, always with a smile, always whistling as he opened his shop before dawn. He lived alone behind his store, so I knew it would be easy. I followed him one evening after he closed up, waited until the streets were quiet and the lights in the neighboring homes dimmed. When he stepped out to take out the trash, I was already there in the darkness behind him. The knife was swift, precise, a professional's tool. He gasped, more in surprise than pain. His blood pooled on the cobblestones, reflecting the moonlight like a dark mirror. No one heard. No one came. Next was the librarian, sweet Mrs. Thompson, who lived in a quaint little house by the park. She loved her cats, spent her days organizing books and gossiping with the locals. She didn't know I'd been inside her house before, twice actually, studying her movements, memorizing the layout. When I finally came for her, it was during one of those nights when the rain drummed hard against the windows. She never heard the back door creak open. She never saw me until it was too late. The look in her eyes as she realized what was happening, it was almost beautiful. Each one was different, yet the same. I tailored their deaths to their lives, a reflection of who they were and how they existed in this place. Some I took quickly, some I let linger, allowing them the briefest moment to feel fear before I ended them. I was methodical, careful. This wasn't some mindless spree. It was a ritual, a dance, a slow, deliberate exorcism of the town's soul. The authorities were clueless, of course. Small-town cops, used to petty thefts and the occasional bar fight, were in over their heads. They set up curfews, advised people to lock their doors, travel in pairs. It didn't matter. I knew this town better than they did now, better than anyone. I knew the secret places, the dark corners where fear could grow unchecked. There was one moment of weakness, though, a single lapse that almost ruined everything. The widow, Mrs. Cartwright, was more alert than I anticipated. When I broke into her home, she had a shotgun by her bed, ready. She nearly got me. The shot grazed my shoulder, but I was faster, more prepared. I silenced her before she could reload, but the injury forced me to slow down, to wait. I hated waiting. But eventually I healed, and I returned. The thrill was still there, the hunger. It's not about the kill, not really. It's about the control, the way their lives dangle at the edge of your knife, the power of deciding who lives and who dies. Hollowbrook is shrinking now, the once bustling streets quieter, more empty. They're afraid. I can see it in their eyes, in the way they glance over their shoulders when they walk. They don't know when I'll strike again or who will be next. But I know. And that's all that matters.